This is one of our canola fields, and it's getting close to being ready to swath, which means basically mowed or cut at the bottom of the stem, and then it lays down and it lays in a row and it dries, and it takes about 3 weeks or so from the plant being alive and standing to being cut, and then from being cut it's about the 3 weeks before the seeds that are inside of here, let's see what they're like. Let's open a pod. So this is a pod. This is what the canola is in, the seeds. It's like a pea pod. I opened up the pod and you can see there's seeds in there on the one half, and you can see on the other half there's also seeds that aren't exposed. So there's a little bit of a divider, and it has seeds on both sides of the pod. And you can see they're all green. And that's not ripe, not ready. And they're soft. See if I can get one, and I'll just squish it with my thumb. It's kind of like a here's kind of the texture of a pea, and I squished it with my fingernail, and so the seed is kind of broken apart, and it's not brown, it's not black, it's not dry, it's firm, but it's not a ripe canola yet. So this will get cut in the next while. Plants will lay down in their rows, and in about 3 weeks then we'll bring the combine and combine it, and at that time, by then the seeds will have turned from green into brown and black. The nice thing about that pod that I opened, where the seeds are quite big, which is good because we've had a very dry summer and the plants aren't very tall. I'm standing here. This is not even probably 3 feet tall, this plant here. Quite often you'll get canola quite tall, like 4 or 5 feet. But we've had a dry summer, and it looks like the plant is small because of that, but it might be, hopefully, it has lots of seeds and big seeds, and they do well in there. Like, that's a short pod. The pod that I had picked was a longer one. This one's fairly long. I don't know, 3 inches, 3.5. This one's maybe 2 inches. So hopefully we have a good yield. The other thing that happened was we had hail. This one's drier. Let's see what a dry one's like. Just open that. It wants to split. Okay. Oh, there's a wasp. Okay, let me open this. Sorry, it's probably not focusing. I'll just split it a little bit, and you can see inside. There. So that's what a canola seed looks like when we combine it. It's dark, it's round, it's small, and oh, it just rolled off my hand. So this is more like what I would expect. The pod is still very wet and pliable, but it's changing color, and that's an indication of pretty soon we'll be swathing, because you don't want to swath when everything's all green like this plant, but you do want to swath when they're partially turned color. You don't want your plant too dry that it splits and knocks all the seeds out when your machine goes through, but you also don't want it to be too green and everything stays green, and then you don't have the quality either. The hail, you can see there's a bunch of yellow flowers, and that's canola that's reblooming, and that's not the best for when we're swathing and combining, because then you get some immature seeds in there and it reduces your quality. Plus, the reason that this may have happened is possibly because of the hail that came through and injured the plants and either made them regrow or knocked out some seeds which managed to germinate and grow from the ground. So let's look at a plant here. Looks like it's just a stem off of an original plant, on that one at least. So sometimes it could do that also. I'm not an expert at things like that, but I do know hail damage does damage, and it affects your yield, and it affects your quality, and it affects things like it reblooming again. So this is Tanya from Farmer Always. I just thought I would show you something you may not have seen before.